Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Like Father, Like Son podcast, hosted by myself, Keith Ledesma, and it's co-hosted by none other than my father, Jose Cheo Ledesma. Welcome, Cheo Ledesma. Say what's up to the peoples.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
So, I want you to introduce yourself a little bit, pa. I want people to know you because I feel like a lot of people want to hear you for a very long time. This is long overdue, but I want you to just introduce yourself. I introduce myself after you, but I just want people to know who Cheo Ledesma is, what he stands by, and just it doesn't have to be too long. Just let them know what you are.
I'm gonna keep it simple.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, whoever's listening to it, would definitely know who I am when they see it. But I'm from I'm from a little small neighborhood in New York City, the heart of New York City, in Harlem, 136 in Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows me as Cheo. Uh, my real name is Jose Ledesma, but everybody knows me as Cheo.
Mm-hmm.
Guy who played football, guy that grew up being very protective of others.
Mm-hmm.
Individual who eventually became a barber, cut hair for a very long time. Had a very voracious attitude for books and just instinctively read a lot when I was young. That appetite and desire for reading
Mm-hmm.
caused me to have a little bit of a knowledge base where I was able to utilize it to kind of just instinctively just give other guys some advice, especially the younger kids on the block. It helped me and carried me as when I began coaching. And then I was the oldest of six brothers and sisters, so I kind of used all that knowledge, for the younger kids,
Mm-hmm.
for my siblings, as well as some of the peoples that I coached. And that was basically it. In the barbershop, I kind of like was a mentor to people. They would
Mm-hmm.
come cut their hair, but I would sometimes listen. As you know, a barber is kind of like wears multiple hats
Yep. Yep.
because you can be there to listen, you can be there to be
You're like a
a
therapist.
guiding force, a therapist, somewhat of a teacher. So that's basically it summed up a little bit. And lastly, definitely, some other people may know me as kind of like a little bit of I don't like the tab, but I'll wear it. Guys would come to me if they wanted some advice on women, just because not because I was a guru,
No.
but because a lot of people knew that I had a lot of experience, just dated a lot, and in that aspect, I kind of like trial and error, just learned a lot, and I
Well,
was able
we
to
could
share
also
some of
agree
that with
though,
guys.
Pa, that when it comes to just being and excelling at life, obviously you're going to excel at other things. And one of the other things, you definitely. I mean, you're trying to. I'm going to tell everybody. My dad, he definitely knows, one or two things when it comes to the female knowledge because it's a game. It's a war when we're talking to females and we need to. It's not about a war as in like we need to be better than them. No, it's just sometimes females want different things from different men. And we just want to with my father's knowledge, I'm giving you guys what analyzing a relationship. Like if a girl wants certain this, she's gonna just want this from you. If she actually wants to take you serious, she's gonna do such and such and such and such. So my father's gonna be able to facilitate that for you guys and facilitate it. I'll try to do what I can. Obviously, my father has a lot more knowledge than me, but because he's had so much more years than what I had. But we're gonna try to do the best we can. For me being a 30-year-old man, for my father being where he's at now, and trying to just get you guys to understand. That's all it is. But sorry to cut you off, Bob. But I just felt like
No, that's
it's
it. I pretty much gave it. I kind of summarized it
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
in the quick little 5 minutes there. Just gave everybody a brief overview of who I am. Grew up, like I said, grew up where I grew up, and
Yep.
in that sense, I had an opportunity to kind of be influential for others. That's all.
No, yeah. I mean, you were a little modest about it, but I mean, obviously, you've always been like that since. I mean, I can comprehend anything in life, but but just a little brief of what I am. Obviously, we all this is the Like Father Like Son podcast, so obviously, I'm the son of Mr. Jose Cheo Ledesma. I am Keith Ledesma. I've done everything from sports to recently being in the military for about 6 years with the Air Force. After that, doing some government contracting and just trying to be the best I can with life. I mean, everybody knows that I try to do what I can as far as fitness, everything, health wise, and just trying to help everybody I can around me. I mean, it's a grueling world out there nowadays, and a lot of people need help. I mean, even sometimes I need help, and I'm always calling my dad. I'm always calling my mom. I'm always calling everybody in my family, because my family is my number one resource when it comes to assistance. You know, just whether it's knowledge, whether it's experience, whatever it is. They're always a little, I wouldn't say crutch, but more of just a shoulder to lean on. You know, because this world is, I mean, like my father always told me, life is unfair, man. I mean, we got to make it fair for ourselves, so we got to utilize our family in the best way we can. But I just want to get into our mission statement here, because, you know, I want people to understand what the Like Father, Like Son podcast is about. The Like Father, Like Son podcast is a podcast dedicated to the bond between generations, where wisdom meets ambition, but legacy meets leadership. Through the heartfelt conversations that me and my dad are going to have, we explore the values of service, strength, and integrity, sharing lessons of honor, resilience, and purpose. As a father son, me and my dad are going to try to discuss what it means to lead by example, to inspire others, and build a lasting impact. Because the impact, you could do all the things you want, but if you don't build an impact with your community, and you don't build an impact like my dad did with the block, with Bomb Squad, with all these different, like, you have to build an impact, you know? And then the last thing is, this is more than just a podcast. This is going to be more than a podcast. Me and my dad are trying to have a movement. It's a journey, you know? It's a journey with growth, guidance, you know, and above all else, the power of family. I mean, my dad said it through our young years, you know, me and my cousins, me and my aunts, whoever it is, it's the power of family at the end of the day, you know? We try to, you know, help other families out to kind of show them what our family, it's all love at the end of the day, unconditional, you know, no matter what, whatever you're going through, my family's going to love you unconditional, you know? But let's get into the first topic, Pa. I'm excited. This is our first podcast, so me and my dad have been wanting to do this for a while. I've been wanting to get my dad on the mic, so this is definitely a dream come true for me. You know, my dad, I know it's a dream come true for him as well. But let's get into the first topic. I want to talk about this because this is the topic dear to my heart. The reason why is because my dad's been doing this. Oh my God, how long you been giving us quotes, man? How long? Mantras, you know.
You guys were in diapers.
I feel like I can recite every quote you ever told me just to my mind, and I know who did it. It's just, but yeah, nonetheless, let me so we're just gonna share you know, your best 3 quotes, by your best 3 powerful quotes / mantras, just stuff that you went by, you know, that had a profounding impact in your life and obviously in my life, obviously, and discuss the meaning. You know, how can these quotes help the listeners in order for them to excel? You know, what are the 3? What are the 3 that you can say, boom, I can give these to people today, and they're just gonna go and they can run with it.
But let's see. There's plenty of quotes I can go on
Absolutely.
and on. You know, but I guess at the top of the list, I mean, you know, and not by necessarily order. It's just the ones that come to my head. You know, Aristotle had a quote, and it goes, "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit."
Absolutely.
And that quote basically just says that the important it kind of like stresses and undercuts the importance of having great habits in order to get where you need to be in life, and when you want to, you know, expose the greatness that's inside of you.
Yeah.
That was one quote.
Secondly, so about that quote though, Pa, because, you know, I just want the listeners to understand. So you always told me that quote, and I know with that quote specifically, it always resonated with me as far as, like, say for instance playing baseball, because you always told me, if we're gonna practice, we gotta practice good. If you're not gonna give me your 110%, go to the basketball court. I don't want to hear you. I don't want you on the baseball field while we practicing right now, right? You know, because I don't want half-ass. You know, we're not gonna work out half-ass. Give me 110%. If you're not, I don't need you here. I'll work out with kids that want to work out, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's
and
exactly it.
And that's all it is. That's all my dad's really saying. We got everything we do. It's 110%. If you're not, there's no point in doing it. You know, we're not going to go on half-assed because we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act. So if you want excellence to be a habit, you have to do it all the time. You know, but sorry, Pa, I just wanted to, you know, just so everybody understands. You know,
that's basically it. You reinforced it, which is, you know, just habits of giving maximum effort. Everything should be maximum effort, and it's creating the habit of giving maximum effort. That's important in life. You know, so you know, these are things that are crucial. You know, secondly, you know, I have a quote that I learned from a good friend of mine. I worked with him my times working for Channel 13 when I was with the adult education department as the literacy center coordinator. He said, "Excuses are the tools of the incompetent.
Oh yeah, I
Those
like
who
this one.
use them, those who use them seldom amount to anything." And you know, for the most part, you know, as humans are creatures of habits, right? And sometimes we create habits where we just try to find the easy way to get something done. And just because you get it done easy doesn't mean it's going to be effective.
Hmm.
And so those who use those easy shortcuts create excuses.
Hmm.
And so when you use excuses, eventually it's going to add up to something. And
Hmm.
what it adds up is seldom amounting to nothing.
Hmm.
So that's a quote that sticks, you know, close to home because, you know, I understood from a very young age and, you know, all the way through adulthood, the adolescent and then adulthood, that if I did something, you know, and made excuses
Hmm.
about trying to get something done and, you know, finishing, I'm not really going to amount to anything. So
Hmm.
if you look at anything in life, that's just the way it is, whether it's sports, whether it's politics,
Hmm.
whether it's you know an endeavor that you take on, a business or something.
Hmm.
You know, if you constantly make excuses, you're going to usually amount to not much in life.
Exactly, like saying
So
something like, you know, taxes are too high. That's the reason why I don't got a savings account. Or the reason why you got a savings account is
you're
because you're
making
making
excuses.
excuses.
You're
you
making excuses.
and you're
You're making
voluntarily making
excuses.
yourself incompetent because you could have a savings account if you manage your money right. Now it has nothing to do with taxes. Taxes is gonna be high or low. The government, we have no control over that. We could vote, we could do all of this. Yes, it'll help, but at the end of the day, you could vote, and the opposite party of what you believed in can go into office. At the end of the day, you have to make life fair for yourself, but also don't make an excuse. It's gonna be there whether you like it or not.
Yeah, yeah. You know, you're either a competent individual or you're incompetent. But
Hmm.
usually, competent individuals are individuals who just will not really make excuses for their shortcomings or their
Hmm.
pitfalls. You know, whereas on the contrary, you know, on the other side, you have those individuals who are, you know, considered incompetent, and usually, not always, but usually those individuals that kind of fit that profile of being incompetent, it's usually because they've been making excuses during their life, especially at a young age.
Hmm.
And so once you make excuses, you can really hang it up. You can stick a fork in that individual. His incompetency is gonna lead to you know not amounting to much in life.
Yeah. So basically, long story short, the listeners, you know, because me and my dad, we love to talk. We'll talk all day. But you know, don't make excuses, man. If you're trying to get up in the morning, get up in the morning. If you're trying to save your
Just get
savings
it done.
account, get it exactly. Get it
Get it
done.
done.
Stop making excuses.
Have the discipline, and stay committed.
Hmm. And then what's the last quote, Pa?
And then the last quote, I mean, this one is kind of just personally with me. I really didn't share it too much with you guys. There's a bunch that I shared with you guys,
Hmm.
but this one was by Winston Churchill, and he said it kind of like a long time ago, and I've seen it plenty of times in different books quoted, and he said, success consists of going from failure to failure. Success consists of going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm, and that's crucial in
I like
life.
that. I'm mad
That's
that you didn't tell
crucial.
us that. I like
That,
that. That
that,
was
that
good.
well, I kind of like exemplified it because I was very
You did.
fiery as
You
a
did. You
dad
did.
and
You did.
as
You
a
did.
you know as a big brother and as a coach and as a teammate. Anybody that played with me or played for me or was my child or you know was my family member and looked up to me, you know, for advice or something, know that I had the fire and I was enthusiastic no matter what situation we would be in.
Hmm.
And when you can consistently, you go from one failure to another, and you do so in a fashion that expresses the ultimate enthusiasm, you will eventually see a tremendous pattern, and that pattern is gonna be that you will eventually see the greatness in that individual start to surface,
Hmm. Yeah.
and you convey what it is to be a reliable source. People look at you and become inspired in those moments because if you notice, for a lot of people they can't handle failure,
Yeah.
and they immediately they immediately, what's the word I'm looking for? They immediately fall prey to the victim,
Yeah.
to
So
becoming
that
victims,
shortcoming. Like, say for
to the
instance, like he's
shortcoming.
in the ninth inning. I remember you told me this a couple times when I struck out on the ninth inning and I couldn't win the team the game. And you're like, this is part of the process. We need this. You need to
Part of the
miss the
process.
last shot of the game. You need to realize, okay, I need to take more shots. I need to take 200 shots a day if I'm not taking 100. I need to go in the batting cage. I need to be in there for 4 hours instead of being in there for 2 hours. Like, this should fuel you that you missed whatever it was and you was failing. That should fuel you to do 2 times the work, not 1 times the work. You know what I mean? That you always. So basically, yeah, you have been saying this our entire life. You just, that's a different way of saying it, but like you said, you exemplified it in your life because you told us this failure is a part of the process. It's gonna fail, and you're gonna fail, and you're probably gonna fail after this, but you got to keep going and you got to double down. You know?
Not only is it part of the process, it's your attitude. I know you remember me stressing your attitude, right? Right, having the right attitude, the right mentality, the right, mental focus, and when you look at these things and you look at attitude and you look at mental focus and you look at mental toughness, those things are birthed and come about because of your enthusiasm for going from one setback to one failure to another, and when you do so, you're going to see that the greatness in you is going to begin to surface.
Yeah.
You can't achieve any greatness without disturbing your comfort level and without
Yes.
being able to remain enthusiastic in those moments where it's ugly, where it hurts, where you're exhausted, where you're beaten. And a lot of people in the hood, that's what separates us, from a lot of those other people. I don't know if you're aware of this, but Steve Harvey once, especially now that he became so successful, he had a seminar that he was actually the guest speaker and the one that was coming out to speak, and it was speaking to millionaires, people that are billionaires, and the question was, how is a guy that's only a millionaire and he has plenty of money? He has, he's up there in the hundreds of thousands. I mean, 100 million what he's worth. But how is a guy like that talking to billionaires? And
Yeah.
you know what it is? The billionaires he asked them, how do you guys got me here? You guys are billionaires. And what they told him is, if we lost our money now, we probably, we got situations and things set in place that would help us, not lose our money. But
Yeah.
if we lost it, we want to know how to get it back. You know what? And we probably wouldn't be successful getting it back. We
Okay.
want to know from someone that came from nothing,
Nothing.
like you did, like Steve, like you did, and how did you become such a successful millionaire? Because we inherited it or
Yeah.
we got it because of something,
Yeah.
but you came from nothing. And so that's why we're coming and we have you as the keynote speaker, and you're going to educate us on how you did it. So that it blew my mind away. It blew my
Yeah.
mind away because that's quintessentially what it means to go. I mean, Steve Harvey slept in his car for 3 years. People don't understand that man was homeless, and look at him now. He goes from setback to setback, from failure to failure, and continues to remain enthusiastic. So, that quote always stuck by me, and I never really forgot it. And that's not really something I shared, that particular quote, with you guys or much people. I've said it to probably a couple of people in life, but it's one that I hold dear, and it's because of that. Because if you do not remain excited, enthusiastic, energetic, and positively, forthcoming in your energy. When you hit the wall, when you hit the floor, when you crash land, then you're not really gonna make it in life. You're
Yeah.
just not.
Nah, yeah, you have to fail. I mean, I've noticed this with everything that I've done in my life, whether it's when I was younger playing sports and now, with working, with the military, the government. Like, it's just, you have to. We're gonna fail. I mean, there's certain things that we're not gonna understand why we failed, but the act of failure, you're gonna learn something, whether it's good or bad. You're gonna learn something, and as long as you take those nuggets to be better, you will be better. But all right, I want to go to the second topic, because the second topic, I think you'll have some good nuggets for this, because I mean, you've helped me shape my morning routines to where I've been able to get through my work day, get some productivity, success, and just help my overall well-being. I mean, we've done this before, baseball games, whatnot. But what are I mean, it don't have to be three, but it's just whatever you feel. If it's two, if it's one, if you want to just do one, we could do one. If we want to do three, you could do three. But what are three morning routines for productivity, success, and obviously the overall well-being? Break it down to the listeners to tell them, hey, you do these, it'll work. If you're trying to be better. Because I think physical activity, for me and for a lot of individuals, if you can improve your physical activity, whether it's running, whatever it is, whatever you recommend, what are the three things you recommend that can boost somebody to where they will be more productive throughout the day, successful throughout the day, and their overall well-being is going to be amazing.
Well, I mean, I'll simply tell you the way. I mean, number one, you have to do some type of physical fitness. So obviously, coming out, stretching, you gotta take some time to stretch your body out a little bit, and definitely get some calisthenics to get the blood flowing in your body and in your brain. You gotta get physical. You gotta do some push-ups, do some pull-ups, do some stretching. Maybe go for a 15-minute run. It doesn't have to be an hour-long run. 15-minute walk, 15-minute run. Come back. Do maybe 5-6 sets of push-ups, do some pull-ups. That'll get your heart rate going, which is very important, and it gets your juices flowing. So, and then stretch out maybe 10 minutes or something. Stretching works for me. It's good. I'm older now, so stretching is vital.
So I know for some people, Pa, I'm sorry to interrupt you. For some people, so do you recommend, because I know you said 5 or 6 sets. Some people, I know they're not going to probably be able to get a 5 sets, but maybe they're just getting back into it. For me, it was easy because you've been doing it to me for my entire life. But I know some of the listeners probably didn't have a father like you to be able to do that, or maybe, their father wasn't pushing it. They may have had a great father, but maybe he wasn't that physical. What would you recommend for people that want to get into push-ups or get into pull-ups or whatever? What can you recommend to get them slowly into it so they can get to those 5 sets of 20 or 25 or 50 like we usually do? What can you recommend to them?
Well, I honestly was being a little biased there because I'm kind of telling you, I'm biased towards the listeners.
Yes.
Why? Because I do 10, 12 sets, and I work out, I push out a little harder. I do my pull-ups, my push-ups, and my dips. But I'm not going to tell the listeners who's just getting started out, to go that, because it'll discourage them. So what I said was 5 sets of 5 push-ups. That's nothing.
Okay. No, I didn't hear the 5 push-ups.
5 sets of 5 push-ups. If you do pull-ups and you can't do pull-ups, then get up on a pull-up bar and just hang off the bar a little bit.
Okay.
Hang off the bar and kind of jerk your body up and down a little bit.
Yeah.
And just pull yourself up a little bit, whatever you can. And if you can't do that, get a stool and kind of like get yourself up on the bar, and then try to hold yourself as long as you can.
Oh, the hangs, right? That's the hangs.
Yeah, you do that, and that'll help you out. That'll help you out. So physical fitness is important.
Yeah.
Physical fitness. If you look at the studies, and I mean, I wish I had some statistics to share right now. But physical fitness is the reason, the lack thereof is the reason why a lot of people are finding themselves, susceptible to diseases and diseases that are preventable.
Yeah.
So that's the key is people have to get out there and get physical, and it's not just to be in superhuman shape, just to have their bodies active, and that activity will help them elongate and stretch their lives. They can lengthen their life. What's the word I'm looking for? Their longevity. So
longevity.
Instead of let's say some people are now, because of the amount of activity that they're including in their daily activity, they're living 5 more years, 10 more years, and the studies will reflect that. If you look at the studies, like I said, we just got to do a little bit of research on it, but the studies will prove what I'm saying is right.
No, yeah, we'll definitely bring numbers. Unfortunately, we didn't bring numbers today. We just wanted to get the episode out, but everybody knows that. I mean, what we'll do for this topic, we're just gonna leave the listeners with just this topic. We need to be more physical in the morning, guys. I mean, plain and simple. You just need to be more physical in the morning. Do push-ups. Go do a walk in the morning. Go do a
15-minute walk.
15-minute walk. If you can run and jog, that would be preferably that. Go for a mile or half a mile jog. Just something to get your blood flowing in the morning. And I guarantee you guys, I mean, my dad's been preaching.
Heart rate.
Yes, but my dad's been preaching this since I was younger. You need to get up. I mean, we do, my dad's been doing so much stuff that I do ice baths in the morning. I do my jogs in the morning. I try to go to the gym, lift in the morning, whatever it is, but I've been doing it for so many years. It's like clockwork for me. But you know, we can all get to this point, and it just feels amazing when you can get that blood flowing in the morning, get that good lift, get them good calisthenics, push-ups, pull-ups, whatever it is, you know, and it makes you so much better to do the tough things, you know, getting that body moving, like, oh, I got to do this report, or I got to do, your mind's already set, you know, your body's already set, so the mind is just going to follow the body at that point. But let's get into the third topic, because it's funny, you touched on this a little bit. We were saying,
hold on. Before I finish that,
yeah,
the two other things, right? Because I said that, and there's two other things that are very important, and I have to share them before you go to the next topic.
Of course.
Number two, which should actually be first, right?
Okay.
Actually, before you go out and then get physical, you have to have a daily conversation with the Lord. And I know it's a touchy topic because some people don't believe in God, but you have to take, 5-10 minutes to have a conversation with the Lord and increase and grow your relationship with God. You'd be surprised how healthy that is for your spirit, for your mind, your soul, and also for those surrounding you in life, your friends, your family. When you're more connected to the Lord, you're more in a peaceful state of mind. You're more patient. You're more tolerant. You're more forgiving. When you do that, you're just a peaceful person to be around. You're less angry. You can deal with nonsense and offensive people better. So I absolutely recommend that people start to develop their relationship with the Lord. All right?
Absolutely agree.
So that's one. That should be the first one. Second, we already discussed that when we said being physical, getting out there, getting your blood flowing, and increasing your heart rate. And lastly, I also recommend that people find time to be of inspiration to others. You know, a lot of people lack that. A lot of people now are so immersed in this whole barraging of others. The minute someone is false, the minute someone they're ready to open their cameras up and start videotaping, and it's sad that people are so quick to point out when somebody fails and laugh and mock them, but yet they to tell them to come out and inspire someone else and find a way to say something positive to someone else, even to share a smile, or a positive word, a good morning, hey, how are you, hey, that shirt looks nice on you, man. Hey, nice haircut. Hey, I like the way your beard looks today. Just sharing a positive feeling with other people, making other people feel good, making other people feel like, that the sunshine still is there and it's not a rainy day. So I believe that, honestly, those three things that you do on a daily basis will have you more productive in life. They will.
Oh, that's awesome. I totally agree. I mean, God, physical activity, and then just being that person that people just want to be around. I mean,
that's just being a positive individual, conveying positivity, because we live in a very messed up world. We do. I don't want to seem pessimistic about the planet and so forth and the outlook on life, but we have so many people committed to being in a negative state. You have so many people incarcerated nowadays. You have so many individuals that are really dealing with mental illness. You have so many people dealing with deaths in their families, and just people angry for no reason because their particular politician is not in office. So there's a lot of anger out there right now. The world is very angry. So if you can be one that is actually becoming and contributing to being contributing to being the solution, as opposed to being one of the individuals contributing to the negativity and the problems, then you know what? You make yourself a better human being, because there's no better feeling than seeing someone else. And if everybody took a little cup of this tea that I'm going to give you, if everybody went out and actually, made someone feel inspired and did something positive for someone where that person can feel really good about themselves, you'd be surprised how we can change the world, how we can make the world a better place to live.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I mean, obviously my dad is my dad, so I mean, I can't agree more.
Now you can move on to your next topic.
Yes, sir. So it's funny because you actually touched on this kind of with the first topic, but I say this. I know what you're gonna say, but I just want to say this question because a lot of people kind of think of the contrary. But when it comes to talent, do you think talent is something you're born with, Bob, or is it cultivated?
Well, no, that's interesting because you cannot say that uh you know, who's the name I'm gonna come up with? You cannot say that a Bo Jackson was cultivated. That
Mm-hmm.
dude was born with those skills.
Okay.
You cannot
Okay.
say that a Barry Sanders was cultivated. That dude
Mm-hmm.
was born like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can look at the likes of Carl Lewis, was a speedster. These individuals were just born with that talent.
So then
They
my
were
next
just
question would
born.
be, Pa, so when it comes to like, say, let's use Bo Jackson for instance, because even though he was born with it, right? Did he still have to develop the skill a little bit, or was it just like, hey, he was born with it, and that's he's just throwing the ball, or he's doing whatever he's doing?
No, he obviously, accentuated,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
for lack of a better word in the moment,
Mm-hmm.
he reinforced his
Also,
talent.
essentially, it was both.
He was born with it,
Okay.
and then he added to it
Mm-hmm.
by increasing his workload and putting more emphasis on his muscle and on his body, especially when he started to have trainers that worked with him. So it's a combination of both, but
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but you cannot understate the fact that that man was born with God-given talent. You can't come
Okay.
out and say, for example, someone born with a voice uh, is that was cultivated. Some people are born with a voice.
Mm-hmm.
They're just spectacular from young. When they were kids, they could just sing, and it just became better. Um, you know, you can see, for example, comedians. Like I was just talking to you earlier about Steve Harvey,
Mm-hmm.
Bernie Mac,
Yeah.
Cedric the Entertainer. These guys were good at what they did because they were naturally funny dudes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, and you come across people like that all the time where that's not just that's you didn't cultivate that. These guys were just genuinely funny dudes,
Yeah.
and some people really have that what's called that it factor.
Mm-hmm.
You come across somebody like that, whether a singer, whether an athlete, whether a comedian, whether it's a politician. You look at them, you like, that dude got it, that
Mm-hmm.
girl got it.
So I think
They got it.
what I would ask you then, because I actually thought of something in my head, kind of like we'll just do like a 3B question right here. So what would you recommend for like any listeners, like a father or maybe a son that's a father that's trying to teach a son to do something? What would you recommend they do? Would you recommend them to amplify their kid's strength or to work on their weakness?
I mean, I would always say to work on both, but if I had to choose
Choose one.
one,
Choose one. Yeah. Mhm.
if I had to choose one, it would be to work on the weakness.
Okay. Okay.
Because if you already have a strength and you want to work on the strength, you can do that at a later time. However, weakness, if you leave it behind, will just fester like a cancer.
Ah.
And
Okay.
before you know it, it doesn't matter how hard you hitting the ball. If you cannot run at all, they're gonna get you out at first base.
That makes sense.
Some guys have been known to throw you out from the outfield. And I'll
Mm-hmm.
give you an example. My nephew Kenny
Mm-hmm.
was tremendous hitting with the bat. He had a great bat, but his one of his weaknesses was the guy couldn't run.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
they would throw him out from the outfield, and he got a base hit.
So I
So
will
that's
say
a
this though, and just because I've seen this happen with obviously with Kenny, I think so. This is probably one thing we're gonna disagree on. I think you should amplify the strength. If that should be the first thing. The reason why is because the strength can get you into circles that you wouldn't get to if you only were just an average player working on everything else. You see what I'm saying? Like the weakness, like I get what you're saying. Work on the weakness initially, so you don't have any weaknesses. But I think sometimes, like say for instance, we'll use Kenny because since we're using him as an example, him hitting so well allowed him to play with us. Kenny would have
yeah.
never gotten to play with us if he wasn't that good of an hitter. Let's be honest, right?
No, and to your point, let's say if you like, I see what you're saying, and I
Yeah.
and I understand your point.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say if you work on your strength, let's say your strength being that he's hitting the ball into the outfield, but what
Mm-hmm.
if his strength now he's hitting the ball out of the park? He does not have to worry about running to the base,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is his weakness.
Yeah.
So in that sense, I could understand.
Yeah.
However, you will always be looked at as not an all-round player, and you've seen that many
Oh,
times.
absolutely, absolutely, and
A
that's
guy,
why.
a
Yeah.
guy, a guy. Let's say in basketball, who has a tremendous, let's say, a tremendous perimeter game,
Mm-hmm.
can hit
Mm-hmm.
the ball from the outside, but the minute he's in the paint, he can't post up. he can't post up because the guy's gonna block his shot or overpower him.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, or doesn't have a handle. How you gonna be a point guard and you could shoot, but you can't handle the ball?
Yeah, yeah.
So see, you can say, okay, I'm going to work on my strength. I can shoot well. So
Mm-hmm.
now, what does that mean? That means that I can shoot it from anywhere on the court, right? From anywhere on the court.
Mm-hmm.
So I can shoot it from mid court and I'll still hit it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have no handle, then all a team has to do is work on not letting you get to the ball. They'll keep running you, let's say, to your left because you have no left.
Yeah.
You see what I'm trying to tell you?
Yeah, no, it makes sense, and now I'm realizing it now. So it's funny. I'm realizing the question. I'm like, to be honest, there's no wrong answer, but there's no right answer. If that makes sense. Like I'm noticing that now.
No. No, in both senses, you have a point. I'm not saying you're right, but I think that if you weigh both of them, I think I may have the upper hand on you because if you,
I know, I understand.
if you work on your weakness, now you become an all-around player.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have that five. Let's say, for example, you have that 5'2" player, right? We know that a good baseball player has what scouts look for is that 5'2", right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we talk about hitting for average, hitting for power, your arm, your speed, and then your baseball IQ.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say 2 of those you're weak on. So now you have the other 3 strengths, and then you come out and you work on those weaknesses. Now you become that 5'2" player.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you just work on the 3 strengths that you have, now to the scout, okay, he's really good with these 3. We're taking a chance on him, right? We're gonna take a chance on him because he's probably gonna overshine with this. But somewhere down the line, son, those weaknesses are going to get exposed.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And when your weaknesses get exposed, then it falls back on the scout who actually took you in with those 3 strengths. Like I'll give you, if I can name somebody, let's see. Look at your boy Judge in the World Series against the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm.
He could hit for power, massive. They work on that. But then what happened? He struck out a record number. I think it was like 29 times in the World Series and through 7 games.
Mm-hmm.
That's ridiculous. That's a weakness. Why? Because he cannot hit for average.
Mm-hmm.
As much as they say that he can't hit for average, he can hit for power all day. But you know what? Good defense exposes bad offense.
Yeah. I think when it comes to what I'm saying then is more of just like sometimes you can't even like if you have a choice. I think just being able to get in the room sometimes, which is amplifying that strength, can get you into the room where otherwise, say for instance, if you just worked on that weakness, but you were average kind of in everything else, you know, it really.
I get it.
You know,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying is that sometimes you wouldn't even like Kenny, for instance. If Kenny couldn't hit, he wouldn't be able to be on the team. Like say for instance, Kenny was average at running, but he couldn't hit the ball like the way he did. It wouldn't really suit us because if he's just kind of hitting base hits and he's getting to the base, but we needed sometimes Kenny to hit that home run every now and then, or Kenny hit the ball in the outfield and get those three runs batted in. You know.
But Kenny was not a power hitter. Not with us, at least. He was just hitting for average. He can hit the ball. He can get a base hit.
Yeah.
You feel me? So he can knock in some runs, even if they threw him out on the bases, whatever. But remember, Kenny did not work on that strength. Kenny was always that was one of his strengths from young.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how he played for us.
Yeah.
And now if he would have worked on it, you know, to your point, where now he's instead of him hitting singles, he's hitting home runs.
Home runs.
Then that's a different story.
Yep. That's basically just work. Whether you're working on your weakness or your strength, work. That's basically it. Work.
Work is the word. Work is the word. Work is what you might want to emphasize more than anything
Absolutely.
else.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into this last topic, Ba. And this last topic is probably going to be a little bit more of an emotional, sentimental topic, but obviously we got a lot of the fathers in the neighborhood, and just I want you to basically just talk to these fathers and tell them, and I'll give the son side, but for the fathers looking to grow, what is the most impactful piece of advice you can give them? And you can talk about, you know, key habits, mindset shifts when they become a father, you know, actionable steps, like things that they could do to become better men, to become stronger, to become more present, and to also be an effective father while they're being, you know, whatever they're doing.
Well, I mean, I summarize it with understanding why you come, what's your purpose. You know, why do humans come to the planet?
Mm-hmm.
Humans come to the planet, number one, to be of service. You know, we come here to serve, and people don't understand that in when you come here, you know, you look at Jesus Christ himself. You know, he sacrificed himself, but he came here to serve others. And when he knew he was going to die, the apostles asked him. I forget who it was. I think it was Peter who asked him. You know, Jesus, what do you want to do? You know, what do you want to your last thing to be? And he said, I want to wash feet. You know what I'm saying? And that's humbling for him to say that. You know, he wants to wash feet as his last act. He wanted to wash the apostles' feet. So I say it in the sense that we come here, if there's anything that you want to do to make you a better man and to be more of an influence, is go out and be selfless. Go and do something for someone else. Be of service. Be a man of service and honor. Go out there and serve others in some capacity. Whether you're out there, you know, whether you're out there as a civil servant on the street, and you know, you take up a job with the city or the government, or you know, whether you work, let's say you go out and take part in some philanthropy or something where you're helping, you know, young men become better men, or you out there maybe coming once a week to a jail to talk to young men that are incarcerated and feel down and out in life. You know, whether you're talking to veterans that come from war and, you know, they're depressed and, you know, they want to commit suicide, and you're basically talking to them about better options that they have in life and that their lives matter. So it all boils down to being of service. Even if you're out there, you know how many animals are being mistreated out there? You can go out there and you know, take time to help people that you know that the shelters that help adopt pets. You can go and volunteer your time there. You can volunteer your time at a food kitchen where, you know, a soup kitchen where you actually help feed the homeless. There's plenty of ways where you can be of service. You can go to the Boys and Girls Club. You can coach a team. I do that all the time. I've coached many of the teams that I've coached for free as a volunteer, and I've been impactful in the lives of many youth, many who are young men and women now, who are being very successful with some of the fundamentals and some of the morals and principles that I kind of instituted in my coaching. And so there's plenty of ways where you can be of service. So if I had to say, you know, one thing, you know, it's to serve, to come here and be of service to others, man. Just be of service to mankind.
Nah, that's awesome. I mean, yeah. I mean, as far as the sons, you know, in the neighborhood, I think the best thing to do is be, let's be frank about it, is be receptive. I mean, listen. Let's listen. I mean, whatever your father's talking, or a father figure, or maybe it's in a community leader, somebody that's in the neighborhood, or you know, somebody that you know that has good intentions, you're just being a brat. I mean, whatever the case is, be receptive. Listen to them, man. Let's not think we know it all, because these people are of the age. We're not telling you guys to be stupid. You know, I'm not telling you guys to take the blind eye and like listen to him and tell him to go drop up. No, we're not doing none of that. We're not doing no crazy stuff. But if he's telling you need to eat better, you know, go and help your grand. If he's telling you go help your grandmother with the groceries, something along those lines. Come on, just do it, man. You know, just go do it.
Just,
you know, just
stay humble, stay humble, and go out and you know, same thing. It's almost the same thing what I was saying. Just go out there and serve, man. Just go out there and help people. I think that when you go out and you help others, you know, it you know, it's like when you go out and tell other people, you know, that, you know, you're kind of introducing them to that little bit of God that they have inside of them. But in order for them to believe what you're saying, you got to show them that there's a little bit of God inside of you too.
That's reality. Like, I mean, it's there. You know, some people don't believe in God. A lot of people do. But even the people that don't believe, I mean, there's you can spread love, man. I mean, spread love to other people. You know, just treat people the way you want to be treated. You don't want to be treated. You don't want to be taken advantage of. You don't want to be, you know, brutally beaten or hurt or whatever the case is. No, you want to be treated nicely. Treat other people the same way. You know, if somebody needs help with their bags, you would want to be helped with bags. If you're you know, of elderly age and you can barely get the bags, you would love a young man to come to you. Hey, do you need help with those bags? You would love it too. I mean, everybody would. Who wouldn't? You know?
Yeah.
So just be of service. I mean, if they're there and you're a willing body, go and do it. Don't think about it twice. If you think about it, you're going to make up these weird excuses saying, oh, I don't need to, I got this. No. Just go do it. Don't think. Think, be of service. Don't think of being of service, just do. Be
Just
action.
do, man. Just
Hmm.
do. Go out there, and understand that, when you reach the top of the mountain you're climbing in life, realize that it's the bottom of a mountain of the next mountain,
Hmm.
And once you get there, reach back and lift someone else up with you. Help somebody come up. Help somebody reach the top of their mountain as well. And then go out there, man, and just do your best to be sunshine. You ever see how sunshine kind of, when you come out in the morning, it's a nice warm sun, and
Yep.
it's kind of cold outside or whatever, and
Hmm.
and the minute you get out there in the sun, it feels phenomenal. You feel that sun on your skin. Be sunshine. Try to go out there and be sunshine to others, man. Just remain positive, and just make people feel good about you being in their presence, and it's not from an egotistical perspective or self-centered where you trying to get all the praise for that. It's just you just want to make someone else feel good about themselves,
Hmm.
and what better way than to just be that sunshine that kind of gives the plants and all the animals life. Water, sunshine, earth, wind, all of it, it's all life. So just try to do your best to be at least sunshine. It's hard to be all four, so just be sunshine.
Yeah, just start. I mean, if you think you can do something to help out, to do something, you don't need to do. You don't need to be the millionaire philanthropist on the first day. No, just start somewhere. You
You
know.
don't have to be no millionaire. You just
You
got to
know.
be a person who cares, because at the end of the day, we're not taking the money with us when we leave.
Yep.
The money's gonna stay here,
Hmm.
but how you affect other people, that stays for life.
Absolutely. Legacy. Build a lasting legacy that people knew. Whatever your last name is, like the Ledesmas for us. People. I want people to know the Ledesmas as those people were beings of just gratitude. They wanted to help everybody. They were people of service. They were God's people. They wanted to
100%.
they wanted to put
One
it
hundred
in
percent.
everybody, just saying, hey, we're gonna do the best we can to help everybody we can. So, but all
Mhm.
right, this is the first episode of the Like Father, Like Son podcast. This is my dad. We're gonna be giving you guys an episode every week, and we're just gonna be coming at you guys with the same stuff, man. We're just trying to, like I said, give you guys some wisdom, between the generations. Show you guys some ambition of what we have. Showing the legacy. And
Just share, just
just
share,
share,
just share.
just sharing what we go through on a daily basis, and hopefully, we get you guys to see life from our perspective, and hopefully, it gives you some insight and some dedication and motivation. All right, guys. Any final thoughts, Bob?
Nah, that's it, man. Just make sure you do your best to you do your best, man. Just do your best in life. Do your best to be as impactful as you can, man. Just go out there and just be a great human being. Period.
That works. That works. All right, guys. Everybody, be safe, and happy keepings, and we're gonna take this week by storm. All right. See ya.
Deuces.